Hey, welcome back. My name is Austin. I am the host of the Kids Action Bible Show, and you're watching the 144 Shabbat recap on 144 Kids. And today's episode is all on Exodus chapter 24. Let's get into it. Roll it. All right, so read with me. Exodus chapter 24, verse 1 through 4. It says, "Then he said to Moshe, come up to Yah, you and Aaron, and Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar. Moses alone shall come near to Yah, but the others shall not come near, and the people shall not come up with him." Moses came and told the people all the words of Yah and the rules. And all the people answered with one voice and said, "All the words that Yah has spoken, we will do." And Moses wrote down all the words of Yah. All right, I know we read that kind of fast, but here's the question. How many elders went up the mountain with Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu? Do you remember? It was in the first couple verses. I'll give you a couple seconds. Yes, look at the picture right here. 70 elders. Good job. Also, Israel said, "We will do." This was very synonymous with wedding vows and wedding language because a covenant was being made, just similar to a bride and a groom. When they get married, they make a commitment to one another. They make a covenant with one another. That is exactly what Israel is doing in this moment. We are witnessing a royal wedding. Let's keep reading though. Exodus chapter 24, verses 4 through 8. Check this out. It says, "He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and the 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the people of Israel who offer burnt offerings and sacrifice peace offerings of oxen to Yah. And Moses took off the blood and put it on the basins." He took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood he threw against the altar. And then he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. And they said, "All that Yah has spoken, we will do, and we will be obedient." And Moses took the blood and threw it on the people and said, "Behold, the blood of the covenant that Elohim has made with you in accordance to all these words." So let's check this out. He says he built an altar, and then he built 12 pillars for who? Do you remember? We just read it. Yes, the 12 tribes of Israel. And he also took some blood and he sprinkled it on the basins and he sprinkled it in the altar. And then Israel again said, we will do. And so all of a sudden we have here, it looks like we have some witnesses here. We have some blood to symbolize the covenant. We have a full wedding. We have guests and everything. This is kind of incredible. Now let's talk about a blood covenant for a second. Check this out. So a blood covenant in the Bible is a very serious commitment between two different people, or between people and the Elohim, between people and the Father, right? And so covenants were made. When they were made, they were used a special ceremony involving the shedding of blood to show how important the covenant was. And this was used to show promises that were important that couldn't be broken. And if you broke your punishment, or if you broke your covenant or your part of the covenant, the punishment would be I'm going to be just like the animal that was slaughtered to make this covenant. And so the animal in a way was an example of what looked like when this covenant was broken. By death it was created, and by death it would be broken. Till death do us part. You ever heard that before? All right, Exodus chapter 24, verses 9 through 13. Let's read it together. It says, "Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the Elohim of Israel, and there under his feet, as it were a pavement of sapphire stones, like the very heaven for clearness. And he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld Elohim and ate and drank. And Yah said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and wait there, that I may give you the tablets of stone with the law and the commandment, which I have written for their instruction." So Moses rose with his assistant, Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of Elohim. All right, so we see right here, the ground under Elohim's feet, it looked like sapphire, right? It looked like for clearness. And you see here that picture of that sapphire right there. It's clear, it's beautiful and blue, kind of like the water right? It reminds me of Genesis, how his spirit hovered over the water. And so it says earth is his footstool and earth is majority water. And so it's just interesting, man. Like, look at that. That sapphire is beautiful. But also right here, Moses, he was tasked with retrieving the tablets of stone. That was his job, to retrieve the tablets of stone. And so Joshua was his assistant, and so he went with him. All right, let's keep reading verses 14 through 18. And he said to the elders, wait here for us until we return to you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. So he left Aaron and Hur in charge. Whoever has a dispute, let him go to them. And Moses went up on the mountain, and the cloud covered the mountain. The glory of Yah dwelt on Mount Sinai, and it covered it for 6 days. That's interesting, for 6 days. And on the 7th day, he called to Moses, and out of the midst of the cloud. Now the appearance of the glory, so it says the glory dwelt on Mount Sinai for 6 days, or Yah dwelt on Mount Sinai for 6 days. And then it says, now the appearance of the glory of Yah was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the sight of the people of Israel. Moses entered the cloud and went up on the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. So we see here, it says the glory of Yah dwelt on Mount Sinai, and it covered it for 6 days. And on that 7th day, he allowed Moses to enter into it, right? On that 7th day is obviously Shabbat. And so on Shabbat, he entered into rest, kind of like when he created man. He created man, and then on the next day was the 7th day. The only thing he could do is enter into rest. And we're seeing these themes again in Scripture, and we're only a couple books into the Scriptures. And now it says, now the appearance of the glory of Yah was like a devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the sight of the people of Israel. So check that out. That's awesome. And again, Moses entered the cloud and went up on the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. How cool that must have been. All right, so if you enjoyed this study, or if you've read Exodus chapter 24, then we encourage you, take a look at some of these questions and see if you can answer these questions for yourself. These are great questions to think through as you read through Exodus chapter 24 and see if you can come up with some answers from them. All right, and so for this month's October Art Challenge, we have the one and only Ali Maru. I know you understood that. And let's see what he brought in. The challenge is to take a photo of something that you are grateful for and tell us why. So let's see what Ali sent in. Nice, look at that. Wow, you can see pine cone, you can see rocks, you can see all kind of stuff. Like, that looks super, super cool. Man, that's awesome. I wonder if you made that truck back there too. I don't know if you made that. Anyway, oh, let's see. Ali says, man, I'm grateful for my sukkah because it's part of Yah. Oh, I see what you did there. He made like a sukkah with just plants and rocks and moss, and it looks like tree bark. It looks also like feathers. Hopefully those fell off and you didn't pluck those off your chickens, Ali. But no, that looks awesome. Ali, I appreciate it. That's great. This is cool. Thanks for sharing. We thank you for staying tuned all the way to the end of this video. If you'd like to support our ministry, you can click the link below. You can buy some YAHUAH Manna tableware sets. These are biblical tableware sets that are great for the family. Or at the same time, you can just give a financial donation, and that would be awesome. That would be really, really cool. And so with that, we love you, peace be with you, and shalom.